All right, fellas, we could get started. You know what? Um, I don't know how long you've been listening to me, but I've been doing this for a long time. And the underlying theme to all my videos, not some of them, all of them, is to be a man at all costs. I'm not talking about, excuse me, being a virtual man like a lot of you guys think is cool. Excuse me, I gotta have a drink here. I'm talking about being a real man. I don't process things in a state of mind uh, that's not real. I process things in reality. Do you know that there's the real you and the ideal you? They're two different people. One of the reasons I have lived so long is I process all of life's events in real time. You know, these shootings at schools and churches and all that shit, they've had an effect on me, made me a little more of a hermit. I hardly ever leave my house, and when I do, I mostly go where I don't need to, get out of my car for very long. I mean, that's a fucked up way to live. That's a fucked up way to think. But the ideal me would say shit like, man, fuck that shit. I'm going out, like I want to. That's how I want to feel. But the real me would say some shit like, do I want to guess where the next motherfucker is going to be shooting today? Or do I say, fuck this COVID shit? Or do I do what this motherfucking bitch is asking me to do? Why do people have choices? This is really important. Why do people have choices? See, people have choices because if we didn't have choices to make every day, we would be no more than animals living on instinct. Now, I believe in instinct. We should rely more on our instincts to survive, but since we have brains, we can't live on instincts alone. Our brain is capable of more than instinctive behavior from us. It allows us to make choices. It allows you to make choices. You got to make sure that you are ready to make your choices. I'm telling you, our brain allows us to make choices because we think. And because we have these choices to make, we got to think, and that's what separates us from animals. The one thing animals have on us is they can't help themselves. They're instinctive, and they know how to they know how to accept that that's what their life is about. But if you really look at what goes on with animals, that's how come you have breeds. because a certain breed of dogs or cats or whatever, they're going to be a certain way. It's inbred in them, and they're instinctive, and they accept that about life. See, we choose to act on our instinct, or we think about what's best to do. Think about it. Isn't that what animals do when they're hunting? So choosing what to do isn't enough to show you're different than animals. Animals have many abilities that are similar or damn near the same as humans. They damn near do what we do, but it's on such a low thought level, we think that they're not thinking. The thing is, animals accept their place in the world. They accept who and what they are. Accepting your place in life is not what we do. We are born into one thing, but through our lives, we can work to change it if it's not acceptable. We make our stations in life, or we'll be dealt a hand by life with no choice. You got to accept your station in life in that case. And if you don't want to accept your station in life, you have to change it. Man, I'm an older dude now, and I need to be doing social things more than ever, which means being out in the public. I find myself opting to stay home where I know it's safe. Think about that. I'm not scared to be out. I'm choosing to stay in. Now, how can that be good for me when I know being alone will kill me as much as that unknown shooter or that fucking virus will? I'm talking about real shit here. And what's more real than how you feel about your self-worth when you're out looking for that mate? You don't get no realer than that. You know, I get a lot of alumni. Caller. Caller, what's up?
Good morning, Bud. What's going on? It's AG, man.
AG, what's happening?
What's up, man? I'm just going to pick my daughters up this morning and stuff like that. But I was listening to you say how you've been opting to stay at home and things like that. It's funny because I've been opting to do the same when I know I might need to be taking advantage of the time I may or may not have and stuff like that. I was wondering, what do you think is the catalyst to you choosing to spend, time at home, man? Spend more time in isolation, if that's what you call it. What's the catalyst to make you make that choice?
For me, is being older and don't really need to be out there like I be. I seem like I be out there with the same agenda I had before, which is not really conducive to who I am and what I do now. So I just don't want to be dealing with shit that conflict with what I think. That's me. Now if you thinking it has to be something to do with whatever going on with you, because you a younger dude. You don't have that age type thing making you do it.
Right. What about them saying, you ever heard that term that they use with young folks, man? They say, oh, this guy here, man, he's a young dude, but he's got an old soul. What about that thing, man? Does that register in
yeah, man. Yes. When somebody says that, it's usually an older dude talking about a younger dude, and this younger dude is displaying shit that it take many more years than he have lived to know what he know, and he
right.
has a certain level of respect. He sort of do things, like we used to do it, as far as that go, and that's what the old soul thing means.
Yeah. I think not even that I've been soul searching. I think every day that I wake up, I'm trying to always develop myself and acquire new things within myself. But I've found myself, kind of seeming to not want to do those things that for like the past 10 years, man, I've been doing on a day-to-day basis, damn near. And I mean, not that they haven't been to any good resolve, but I just want to just do something different.
Well,
Yeah, that's
man,
all.
ain't nothing wrong with wanting to do something different. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop your income. You can't stop taking care of your family. And as long as you ain't hurting that, and you want to do something different, that's up to you, man. You don't have to do the same things to be you.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
Oh, well, that's good.
change,
That's
man.
good. Yeah, yeah. I could be different. Now, that's cool, man. I appreciate it, bud. Appreciate it always.
All right, brother, be cool.
Be cool.
Uh, where was I? I really and truly accept my position. Now, who says uh what my position is? I say my position, but what if someone else don't think that's my position? Who do I listen to? Well, you know who I'm going to listen to. Well, who do you listen to in that case? Are you going to take this person's version of what you're doing? Or are you going to take your version of what you're doing? I'm telling you, when I talk about this stuff, I'm talking about real shit. Shit you are going to be faced with. And what's more important is you're going to have to make a decision about it. You're going to have to place your value against whatever it is you're talking about. I get a lot of alumni, and I get dudes who haven't actually bought my course, but they thinking about buying it, but they ask questions. The alumni do too. What they have in common is a lot of them tell me that they get faced with a situation they can't decide what choice to make. But the reason you cannot decide what to do is you have been lying to yourself still. You've been lying to yourself so often, you can't believe anything you think. Now, if you're honest, you'll realize the decision is not difficult to make. Once you see what will benefit you the most, the decision is not hard to make. But it requires more than just thinking. You must go to the extra yard and critically think about this situation and just about all situations. And once you do, breaking it down makes it much easier to deal with. At SWU, we learn the importance of your first thought on any situation. Your first thought is the primal survival thought. It's the thought you have when there's nothing interfering with your decisions unless you don't make one. I mean, there's a reason that it's crucial that you trust your first thought on anything in life. And it's because this thought is almost always the correct one for the situation. Yes, there is a chance you can be wrong, but wouldn't you rather suffer the consequences of a decision you made than suffer the consequences of not making one, believe you? I would. I really don't like it when a dude set up a coaching session for something in particular and have options to choose from. I especially don't like it when alumni ask questions and state several options they could have chosen. Because think about it. What the fuck is the use of developing confidence if when you have options, you're afraid to decide which is the best for you? Something you all got to remember. Confidence is not going to make decisions for you. Confidence can't think or develop thought. It can only make you comfortable with your choices. But you do have to choose. Confidence ain't going to choose for you. At this point, when you choose and your choice is what was needed, you feel a surge. Believe it or not, if you do your due diligence, you will undoubtedly make the right choice, which would make a believer out of you. And I know it's scary to go for what you believe. That's because you don't know you're at a crossroads in your life. And you gotta pick a path. Your choices are how much bullshit will you take in your life and try to believe it versus the truth and the feeling knowing you can trust what you think. Those are your choices. What do you do when you come to a fork in the road and you're not sure which way to go? It's hard to decide which is the correct path. But to me, the only one to take, or not the only one, the one I take is my first choice. But either one I take will have to do. If I don't make a choice, I'll be stuck at the fork. Choices at times are difficult to make, but think about what will happen if you don't make one. Most times, when you're thinking about making a change or making changes, the initial information you get, it seems to jump out at you and it makes you feel that things, just might be all right. Then a few weeks later, you don't feel so sure. Two things are going on right here. First, that information is not new anymore, and you're not as thrilled to go at it as you was at first. But if you want what it has to offer, you got to push yourself to go at it. Now, when it was new to you, you were keen on using it, but once you saw the work it takes to learn it, you backed off a little when you should have tightened up and stayed down. Second, you're only now seeing that you need to put genuine effort into getting what's in there for you. New information got to marinate, not very long, but you surely cannot grasp it or the meaning of it. Excuse me, you guys. What happened? What was that? Fuck. I see what it was. Some shit I put up in the bathroom failed. I thought it was somebody trying to break in my house. Okay, but anyway, new information sinks in sort of quickly, but it needs, to settle into your motherfucking environment before it really shows its true value. When I get new information, after I understand it, I look for the best environment to try it out in. You could take you take care of your hygiene every day. You do that so you can face the world fresh. That includes your mouth, your face, your hair, your body. All that should face the world fresh. But aren't you forgetting something? Before you leave, make sure you refresh your mental state. Do a quick weeding of your garden every morning and see how much better you feel about facing the day. Any form of hygiene works best if done daily. Now, who knows what's good about being opinionated? I really hate you guys don't join in, but still. First and foremost, it's good to have an opinion on things going on. And secondly, it's even better to have an opinion that you're brave enough to voice. But many of you stop there, and that's only having an opinion. We know opinions are like... Caller, what's up?
What's up? What's going on? This is Doug.
All right, Doug, what's happening?
Yeah, so a few minutes ago you said that.
Hey, wait a minute, bro. Are you on your speaker?
Yeah.
Can you get on the phone? 'Cause I can't hear you that good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So you were saying a lot of us lie to ourselves. I would just wanted you to elaborate more on that, the lying to ourselves part.
Yeah, man. Think about it. If you wanted a hamburger, you would go get it. If they didn't have what you wanted there, you would go somewhere else because you know it's somewhere you want. That you ain't gonna lie to yourself when it comes to that's what you want. But when you at, let's say, driving down the street and you see this woman and you want to talk to her, but you tell yourself, man, I would talk to her, but I got this, I'm busy, I'm doing something. You tell yourself some shit like that, knowing the only reason you didn't pull over is because you're scared. That's how easy it is to lie to yourself.
So daily excuses. We're coming up with excuses in a moment to not move forward.
Well, I mean, that definitely is going to result in a lie, but it don't have to be that. You don't need no specific definition. But what I'm saying is, lying to yourself is when you're telling yourself anything other than what the real deal is, and mostly it's about why you're not doing what you should be doing right now.
Jeez.
If you in a club and you see a woman and you know she alone, but she's standing around some dudes, do you go talk to her?
Personally, yeah.
All right, now you would. I would. But the average motherfucker wouldn't. They would be afraid that conversation would be overheard by these dudes and they wouldn't want to get ranked. That's the answer I get 90% of the time out of my students. You don't think like that?
That situation, there's two ways I would handle that situation. I would go to the dude that's standing next to him, next to her, and basically say, man, buddy, is this your chick? Are y'all chilling together? Is that what it is? And they'd be like, nah. Sometimes they actually give me the alley oop to get in there. So that's the way I would have handled that.
I'm not saying that's wrong. If that's the case, a good idea. But I wouldn't do none of that shit. I wouldn't give a fuck. What I'm saying is, if it's his woman, when I said something to her, he would say something to me. And I would know how to back up. Or she would say something, I'm with him, blah, blah, blah. And I know how to back up. What I'm talking about is addressing what your action is in your mind. You saying, man, I would say something to her if she wasn't around all them dudes. What if she just around them? Yeah. I'm just saying, you go up to this dude, this your girl? He say, nah, man. And I'm saying, you wasted that. What if she overhear you asking that? She might like it, but she might think, ain't that a bitch? I don't leave shit to chance, man. I do shit based on what I know will happen.
You keep it ground zero.
So I can stay grounded, bro.
Yeah.
You can't change up. You can't change up for the bitch. You can't change up for the situation. You got to know how to handle the bitch, and you got to know how to handle the situation. You got to handle it being you, the same you always been. That's how motherfuckers make mistakes, trying to change up, get caught up in the change. This ain't what you normally would do. Fuck that, man. I'm not getting caught up. I've been in too many places where your ass could be buried there for me to be changing up.
So would that be a different than adapting to the situation?
Yes, that is different than adapting to the situation. Adapting to the situation, could be something you never even considered happening at this moment because this situation didn't cause for what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So basically, going over there, and then you try to holler at the chick, and she's like, that's my brother, but he's real mean, da 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 da. And then you adapt to the situation. You buy the brother a drink real quick. You show him that everything cool.
If that's what you want to do as far as handle the situation, that's a move. But like I would tell baby, look, I ain't even talking to your brother. So if he don't want you to talk to nobody, you should have wore a motherfucking paper sack or something so could nobody see how you look. Because you look good to me.
Yeah.
I'd have said something to kill that brother shit, and I hope he heard me.
Yeah. Okay. Hey,
All right.
give me a mouthful. All right, for sure.
All right, bro. That was believe it or not, that was some good shit, man.
Yeah. You just filled my tank up. I'm good for the day.
Hey, all right, brother. Be cool. Hey, all you guys got empty tanks, need a full tank. I'm the gas station. Now let's get with it. Now, I asked about being opinionated. I didn't ask, do you have an opinion? See, they're two different animals. Being opinionated means your opinion is all that matters to you. You do agree other people can have an opinion on your shit, but your dedication to your ideas make them not valid. If you are opinionated, more than likely you've done more than the average person claiming your field. Most people who are opinionated are well schooled, but the best opinionated person is a person who learned by trial and error, not by being formally educated. Education, if your instructor is not sharp, can dumb you down, because in many cases it doesn't want you to think outside the box. The guy who learned street shit had to think outside the box. He had to think outside the box in damn near every instance in order to live. And if his opinions are anything, they are the guiding factors to his destiny. This is what game is. This is what game does for you. This is why you guys do not have any game, because you do not believe what you believe to the extent that's how you live. Caller, what's up? Caller, what's up?
All right, what's happening, bud? This is Dylan out of Houston.
Dylan, what's happening, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just tuned in on this Saturday. You spitting that game, man, and I just wanted to tune in. I mean, give my 2 cents on what you were saying about being opinionated versus having an opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with the selfishness and conceit that you preach, being opinionated, because, like you said, everybody has an opinion, but being opinionated, that's really where you kind of stand on your opinion so much that you got to let it be heard because you believe in it so much. And, you ain't going to let the world sway you out of that opinion.
I agree with you, man. That's 100% right.
Yeah, and I think a lot of men we gotta practice that, because I see social media. There's a lot of opinions out here that are real crazy, and a lot of dudes in particular don't really seem to stand up for what's real, and that's why a lot of this stuff is just sliding now. And so, yeah, I just think a lot of men need to really have some more confidence in themselves and stand up for what they really believe in.
They ain't gonna have no more. They gotta get some more confidence. It ain't, confidence is out there for everybody, but if you don't know how to acquire it, you just gonna be lost in the sauce, because there's a certain things you have to do in order to become confident enough to call in and shit and state your opinion, knowing that I'm the kind of nigga that'll chop your shit up. See, I'm just saying, man, you ain't scared. You were scared at first before you got sharp. But what I'm saying is now you'll call in with whatever the fuck you have to say, the way you have to say it, because you're confident in how you think. And you will suffer the correction if that's the case. If I think I need to correct you, then you're willing to go through whatever I'm going to do to correct you, knowing I might chop your head off. But you also know I ain't going to chop your head off as long as you standing up for what you think. You see, and this is, believe it or not, that's a big thing.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of dudes just like you said, they lacking that confidence. They ain't really been tested, and that's why I gotta just give you your flowers for the Sidewalk University, man. It's been over 3 years since I graduated, but man, that stuff is priceless to this day. I just be seeing people like how they interact with me and how they interact with others, and I'm just like, I just see through it, man. I just see through the bullshit, and I'm in my own lane, man. Things are real smooth, man. So
The
man,
thing is, Dylan, because I told you this and you'll remember, when you graduate, you're only beginning.
Yeah.
Because graduation, you got the school parameters to deal with. After graduation, you only have your parameters to deal with. And you have to establish all that shit. So for the next few years, you're going to steady be impressed by how much you learning and what you seeing. And after X amount of years, maybe 8 or 9 years, you'll start expecting yourself to do these things. And it won't be so surprising. I was speaking to a dude that I was fucking with 12 years ago. I didn't know it had been that long because I've been talking to him all this time. But he reminded me when he started fucking with me. And he told me the reason he call in as much as he do, the reason he stay in contact is because he really realized that this shit is invaluable because you can always revisit it. And when you revisit it, you're not going to get the same shit you got when you did it the last time. And it makes sense if you think about it, because you're way sharper than you were the last time. So now when you watch it, you got to see different shit. And that's how you should look at that, man, because I'm telling you, it's the gift that keeps on giving, bro. And whatever level you own, all you got to do is look at that shit, and whatever level you own, you're going to get that level kind of game from what you watching, even though you seen it previous levels.
Man, hey, that's real, man. Just from you saying that, that got me. I got to go revisit the university now.
There you go. Dylan, I love it, man. Every time you call, man, I used to have to correct you. I just listen to you now.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man, and shit, keep rolling, bud. We with you.
All right, man. You be cool. I love this kind of goddamn shit. And not that a motherfucker be saying, man, your shit is dope. It worked, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I love that too, but that ain't what I really love. What I really love is to see the growth. Most motherfucking opinions are just that, an opinion. My opinion, 9 out of 10 times, will be tied to my tenets and my personality. Therefore, it ain't something I'm going to take lightly. My opinions are a part of my destiny. So, fellas, today is the perfect time for you to decide you will no longer settle for what's left over after the feast. You need to decide, is today the day you'll feast as all kings do? If you do, the next time you're thinking about leaving her, but something makes you want to give it another shot, do you not do what you think, or do you change what you think, or how you do what you think? Because the only way to do that shit and it work is to look her in her fucking eyes and let her know you're not having it anymore. Of course, she's going to resist because you've been soft for so long. She can't imagine you ever standing up to her. So, don't argue. Don't fuss. Just let her know you're not having it anymore and go catch the news. And when she says something to you, look at her and don't say anything. When she brings you your dinner, thank her and remain quiet. When you finish, be sure to compliment her on your meal, but remain quiet. When you get dressed for bed, tell her good night and turn over and go to fucking sleep. In the morning, wake up and say hello and leave to work. When you return from work, buy a few roses, a small card, and when you get home, tell her, give her the roses and say, "This is for you, baby, because I know this is a new beginning, and I'm not starting over again with you." And in this go round, you call all the shots. It's up to each of us to separate what makes us that unique individual among so many seemingly same men. Yes, all of you are grown, but that's why you all seem the same, because you're grown and act like little boys. But how many of you motherfuckers are stand-up men? Men who do not shirk their responsibilities to their kids or to their job, or most importantly to yourself. There are the individuals I want to hang with, because what I'm saying is the motherfuckers that really understand what I'm saying are the individuals I want to hang with, because pretty is what pretty does. That it's the same as you are who you hang out with and you are what you eat. I speak with opinionated men and realize they the only kind of motherfucking man I like speaking with. Most men continue to be sheep, following the crowd of weak motherfuckers who have not realized that they are not the spineless pieces of shit women will have you think. Assertion is not dead, but there needs to be a revival of its necessity. Let's all stop worrying about it and be about it. I rule me. Who rules you? I see you guys are getting better with what you think, and I'm happy to see you learning what it is to be strong in your conviction. And what's better is you have conviction to believe yourself. Compliment your success whenever you notice it, because it's essential that you give yourself the due credit for your accomplishment, because change is not easy to make, especially when it's something you didn't think of. Honesty is underrated, but I thought I just got, hold on, caller. Caller, what's up?
What up, bud?
Nothing. What's happening with you?
Shit, man. Hey, personal question for you, man.
Come on.
How long was you married?
How long?
Yeah.
About 8 years.
All right. Now, why didn't it work?
Well, various things, but the bitch was, one of them kind of bras that thought a nigga needed her. And, that's really what happened. The motherfucking bitch said some shit I didn't like. And then, instead of her backing up, she wanted to stand on it. And I told the bitch, look, if that's what you believe, I'm gone. And that next morning, I packed up and left. Took all my shit in my dog and let her have everything else we had accumulated over them years. You can have it all. I want my clothes and my dog, and I'm gone. That's how I ended up in Vegas.
I listen to you, man, and I agree with you when you be like, a motherfucker shouldn't go and tell on themselves. Like, you out fucking with a bitch, why would you go tell another bitch that you fucking with this bitch? I agree with you when you say that, but it's hard for me in my head to figure out why a nigga that thinks like that would get married.
Because I wanted to be married. Marriage meant something to me that maybe it didn't mean to you. I didn't get married for the reason you got married. I didn't get married for the reason anybody else got married. I got married for my reason, and my reason was selfish. The bitch seemed to like, because I was raising my daughter on my own, but my daughter was about 13 or something. And what I'm saying is I had basically raised her, but I still felt she needed a woman's input on, feminine shit. Because when my daughter was about 11 or something and started her periods, she asked me to go get her some tampons. I cussed her little motherfucking ass out and told her, look, motherfucker, I ain't going to get you no tampons. I don't do that kind of shit. I'm a dude. I'm a real dude. Go get your own goddamn tampons. And she didn't know what to get. And I told her, look, I know you don't know what to do, but that's why you got aunties. That's why they older than you. They done been through shit. And you got to use your resources because your dad ain't finna go buy you no Kotexes. And I took her to the store, gave her some money, and she went and bought her own goddamn Kotexes. And she never fucking asked me to do it again. Never. I never had a problem with her folding her Kotexes up and putting them in the damn garbage, and then they stinking because they've been in there too long. I never had that problem. Hold on one second. Let me put this guy on hold. Caller, what's up?
Rosebud, this does again.
What's up?
This time I wanted to touch on the whole opinionated factor that you were speaking on.
Yeah, but I got another brother. Oh, maybe he hung up because I don't see him. All right, go ahead.
Okay, for sure. And now I'm kind of behind because I'm just watching the video now, so I'm not sure where you're at in the video. But my thoughts on that is being opinionated. It kind of relates to what we were talking about earlier about being grounded in who you are. And what I got from that is instead of going around the situation, you got to be able to or confident enough to go through the situation, through the fire. And I think that's one of my weak points right there is I'm trying to finesse.
Stop. Why would it be a weak point in you saying what you're saying?
Because my first option is not to go through it.
What's your first option?
It's to find a way around it.
Okay, so let me tell you something. When you find a way around it, did you get rid of it or did you go around it?
Yeah, I bypassed it.
Just listen. So when you go through it, did you get rid of it or just go through it?
When I go through it, you're taking everything along with you.
I didn't ask you about me, did I?
Nah, me. It's
So
like
then when you go through it, you take everything with you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What does that end up in?
It's like a bowling ball in the pin. It's like a bowling ball hitting going through a pin. Everything's getting knocked down.
My question is, did you go through it and end it? Or did you go around it and it's still there?
But it sounds like it's the same thing.
No, listen. That's how full of shit you are. You can't answer that. Because if you wasn't full of shit, you could answer it. Because when you go through it, you eliminate it. When that bowling ball go through them pins, it eliminates all the pins. That's why he get a strike. When you go around it, you didn't went in the alley and you're in the fucking lane, the alley, and you missed all the pins and you get a 0. You didn't do shit. Yeah. So your choice to go around shit is why you having problems, because that's not the choice to make. You're making the choice, but you're making the wrong choice. Do that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes plenty sense.
So what you gonna do?
I'm going through it.
What?
You gotta go through it.
You gotta do that. And how do you go through it?
The topic is being opinionated. 2, confident.
But check it out. Listen, brother. Listen. What I'm saying is when you think, this is how you should think. These are the questions you should ask yourself, because this is what's going to get you to the root of the problem and allow you to figure out how to solve it. If you don't want to ask no questions in your bowling, bowl strikes. You're knocking all the fucking pins down. You're going through them. If you try to bowl this particular ball, a curve or whatever, and you hit some of the goddamn balls, you went around it because you still got to use another ball to get the rest of the pins. Excuse me. If you could get the pins. But the only way to get them all is a strike.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to be bowling for in life. Everything, a strike. You don't fucking want no pins left. You feel me?
For sure. That's the only way you definitely know that you made an impact is by going through it.
Can you see how this shit is what builds confidence?
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to tell you, man, there's a bunch of shit, small shit that you could do to build confidence in your life so you don't have to question what you think. But if you don't know what they are, how are you going to do them? That's a question.
You can't do nothing. You be stuck in the same place.
So my point to everybody that's listening is that if you're not going to do shit, you're going to be stuck in the same place. And if you decide to do some shit, decide to do something that's going to change where you at. And go at it. Don't be bullshitting. That shit can win only if you let it win. Because other than that, you got the tools to outlast it. You got anything else, bro? Because that shit was cool.
No, that's it right there. That was the thought that the conversation brought that thought to my head. I'm still listening though.
All right, brother. I'm gonna put you back in. The thing about me is I grow. I really grow. So you got your shit together and you're ready for the hunt. You've thought it through and you're ready to go get that woman you want. You're not going to run into her quickly. So it's best to know how to deal with the women you run into. Caller, what's up?
What up, bud, man?
I'm good, bro. What's happening with you?
Man, I can't call it, bro. Man, I've been listening to you for a long time, bro.
What's up?
Oh, man, I want, can you break down what's the real meaning of chicken shit? I've never heard that expression before.
Chicken shit. Motherfucking bitch come up to you and say, can I have a bite of your hamburger? Listen, man. Do you want to know the answer or do you want to laugh? Because I'm not joking.
Yeah, tell it to me, man.
Okay, so the bitch walk up to you and say, can I have a bite of your hamburger? And you say, hell no. And I'm your friend and I heard you say, nigga, you chicken shit. That's what that means. Chicken shit means what the average person would do, you ain't doing. Chicken shit, if you in this broad walking to the car or walking to the restaurant and you get to the door and you open the door and walk through it, fuck the bitch, and she opened it on her own, that's being chicken shit. Not that you intentionally are being chicken shit, but that is being chicken shit. Because normally a motherfucker taking the broad out, blah, 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 go up to the door, open the door for her. That's being, if that's the case, a gentleman. But when you don't be the gentleman, you do what the fuck you want to do because that's what you want to do, you being chicken shit.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Hey, man, one more thing, bro. Whatever happened to that, the movie that you was doing?
With Dre Dog. With Andre Nicotina.
Nah, with the girls and stuff.
Yeah, that was Andre Nicotina shit, and he got it. I didn't have.
Put nothing else after that.
He never put that. He never actually put that out, man. I don't really know why, but he never actually put that out, man. So, I mean, I really don't know what's going on with that. I'm not. It wasn't my shit. I was in his shit. So whatever he doing with it is, up to him. But it hasn't been released or any of that shit. So I don't really know.
You made that shit. That shit was cool in the motherfucker, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
That shit right there,
it was cool. I loved it.
Hey, yeah, that shit was cool in the motherfucker. Hey, man, I want to get some of your daggone confidence stuff or whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been watching for a long time, man, and it just amazes me, like, how much knowledge and wisdom that you have. You know what I'm saying? You be spitting that shit like a motherfucker. I was like, damn. Hey, man, I be picking up little shit here and there when I be looking at your videos and shit.
Hey, if you ever get with that course at sidewalkview.thinkific.com, if you ever get with that course, you ain't gonna pick up a little shit. You gonna understand all the shit, and you gonna see what the little shit you picking up is for, because it has a particular value, but ain't nobody gonna really get it. I mean, they gonna get it if they get it, but they ain't gonna just get it because it's over their head. They would have been doing the shit if they would just get it. So when you go through SWU and you learn game and what game really is, that's when you start hearing and getting those little tidbits that matter. Because right now you're getting little additions, but you don't have nothing to add it to.
Mm-hmm. So when you say that, you know what I'm saying, you was picking up game here and now, you know what I mean? So it's actually really like somebody told you this shit, or did it just grow on you?
No,
you
man.
Talk a lot about
No, none of that. I'm out, I'm on the corner, and I overhear some shit. Some niggas talking some shit. They ain't talking to me, but I overhear it.
Mm-hmm.
And the shit sounds sharp as fuck. So I take that shit. I take that. I'm trying to tell you how to pick up game, man. I take that shit, and whatever they was talking about, I go do it. And I see what the results of it is. That's how you pick up game. Because whatever you heard, you go implement. You don't just hear it like you guys do. You just hear it. Oh, yeah, I got game now. Y'all didn't heard it. Ooh, no. The game comes when you go do it. You go do it, and you see the results of what you did. Now you got some game. Now you know you have a direction of which way to go. Before you do it and you get this information, that's all it is information. It still can go either way. But since it's going to be game for you, that means you finna take it and use it in the particular instance you need to use it in, and it's going to work out in your favor. That's game.
Word. Hey, man, I got one more thing. When you and Dre gonna do the spotlight again, man? Because I liked it when y'all was on there together, man, because y'all was going back and forth kicking that shit, man. That was real shit.
Me and Dre or me and Tay?
Nah, well, you and Tay too. You know what I'm saying?
But me and Dre never was on.
What?
Me and Dre never was on one kicking it.
Well, it was you and Dre on the spotlight. There was a few of them. You know what I'm saying? I watched them or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there was just little videos that motherfuckers put up, man, and they made it look like man, whatever.
Okay. That shit was cool though, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Dre.
Hey, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I wish you were gonna do set up something with you and Boss Hog, man. I know that's your student or whatever. But I like him too, man.
And let me tell you something. Listen, man. When I was brand new to this internet, Boss Hog bought some shit from me, and he thought it was dope. He called me. And he asked me, why didn't I have this shit available, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, man, I'm just getting started on this internet, and I don't really know that, blah, blah, blah. I told him all that shit. Boss Hog is the one that put me up on how to go sell shit through the internet. He is the one that made me realize my shit is so powerful that I need to be selling it on the internet. Now, he did buy my shit, and he did learn a lot from my shit. But what I'm saying is that motherfucker taught me just as much as I taught him.
That's what's up, man. I enjoyed talking to you.
All right, bro. Let me get this call, man. Caller, what's up?
Hey man, Rosebud, what's up? This is Jackson from California, man.
All right, what's happening, Jackson?
Hey man, I've been watching you for like 10 years, man. And I just wanted to say Happy New Year. It's 2025. And I'm glad you're here, man. Kicking this game. I'm glad you're here.
Hey man, I appreciate that, brother. But let me tell you something. Anytime you call in, you don't want to waste it giving me my flowers while I'm living. You should get some. You have something that I could answer to give you some game.
That's true. That's true, man. I know. I'm gonna think of some stuff there, but I just want to say congratulations on your
All right,
success, man.
all right. Be cool, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man.
Caller, what's going on?
Rosebud, what's going on with you?
Hey man, everything is cool. What's happening with you?
That's good. Everything good. I'm over here in Alabama. It's snowed in, but I got a question for you, right?
Yeah, what's up?
I've heard a lot of, rappers and different people throughout my lifetime just use the term mashing. And I know that this is a term that's in the game, but I don't want to get the wrong idea of it. So I'd rather ask you, what does that actually mean when somebody say they mashing on a
Do you
field?
know what? You don't know what mashing mean at all? You don't have an idea?
I got an idea.
What is your idea?
Okay, like I'm mashing on the gas, like I'm going. I'm
No, that's pressing on the gas. Mashing has a meaning.
Well, yeah, mashing like you smashing something.
What does smashing mean?
Fucking.
No, mashing means if you talking to a broad and you saying, "Yeah, baby, it's time for us to, make a move. Time to go." Blah blah blah. And she's saying shit to deny making the move. Mashing is when you tell her, "Look, baby, you're gonna have to make this move, or you can't fuck with me." It's not those words. It's the fact that you're pressing the issue. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you. That made more sense, man. I got you.
Okay. You got anything else?
Nah, well, I do have something else. Okay, so when I was a youngster, right, my grandmother, she was a part of, the lifestyle or whatever, But
part of what lifestyle?
Well, the lifestyle of pimping at home.
So your grandmother was a hoe?
Basically, yes.
Ain't no basically, man. Was she a hoe or not?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so what time? Well, go ahead.
Okay, so when I was a baby, right, she used to paint my pinky nails red, and she told me that means that would signify a pimp. So I was wondering, have you ever seen that, or do you know anything about that?
I never heard it, and I don't believe it. But I'm not saying your grandmother wrong, because where she from, that might have meant that.
Yeah, we from Alabama, so
that might have meant that, because the South have a lot of different meanings for things than, let's say, the West Coast or the North.
Okay.
So I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying, as far as me, I never heard that shit.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. You feel me? Just added a little bit more to my campaign. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Be cool. Okay, you guys, I'm finna keep going, and I love this. I love what we doing, and don't get me wrong. Now, you got to understand, it's easy to lie to yourself. And what I'm going to do is implement a themed semester all this year. I really wanted to get my prices down to bare minimum. And of course, I'm still going to blow up. And I'm going to blow up because of how many men I'm helping. This term is time to upgrade. And the money you spend will go to improving a great cause. And that's you, my man. I hope you guys are really understanding where I'm coming from. Of course, I want to make money, but that is not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from trying to actually teach you some things that's going to allow you to grow into the man you really want to be. What we've been taught, what we've been using as guidelines the past 30 years are not true. They're what some person decided they wanted to have the country thing. Believe it or not, the country does not believe men should be more empathetic. The country believes that men should know more about empathy, but it don't want you to be more empathetic. Why? Because you would have a country full of women, male women and female women. You can't have a man thinking like a woman. You just can't. And if you don't see why, then there's a problem, not what people are thinking. What you need to understand is you need to really and truly understand empathy. You got to be able to put yourself in someone's shoes in order to really see and feel where they're coming from. But you do not have to become this person because you know or you empathize with them. What you have to do is realize what's going on and try your best not to repeat it or have promote it. This is real shit. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm being real. I'm not doing this for money. This doesn't make people buy into my course. Why? Because I don't talk about all that flashy bullshit that people used to hearing. I talk about real shit. I talk about shit that's going on in your life right fucking now. Let's deal with that shit. Let's make that shit the kind of shit it is like the end of the shit. I'm gone.